What if I told you that the largest land animal on Earth can recognize itself in a mirror and remember places it visited years ago? How does a creature this massive develop a mind so remarkable? Across the grasslands of Africa and the forests of Asia, elephants have survived for millions of years. They are among the most intelligent animals ever studied. An adult African elephant can weigh more than 6,000 kilograms. Yet despite its enormous size, it can move with surprising precision. The elephant's most famous feature is its trunk. This extraordinary tool contains around 40,000 muscles. That is far more muscles than the entire human body. The trunk can uproot a small tree. It can also pick up a single blade of grass. Scientists have discovered that elephants use their trunks for almost everything. They breathe through it. They smell through it. They drink through it. They communicate through it. They even use it to comfort members of their family. However, what makes this even more interesting is their sense of smell. Research suggests elephants can detect water sources from great distances. Their sense of smell is considered one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. This ability helps them survive during harsh dry seasons. An elephant's ears are equally impressive. They are not just for hearing. Large ears help release excess body heat. Blood vessels inside the ears carry warm blood close to the surface. As the ears flap, heat escapes into the air. This natural cooling system is especially important in hot African environments. Without it, maintaining a safe body temperature would be much harder. But temperature control is only one part of the story. Elephants are highly social animals. Most females live in close family groups. These groups are usually led by an older female called a matriarch. She carries decades of experience. Her memory often helps the herd find food and water during difficult times. Scientists have observed that herds frequently depend on the matriarch's knowledge. She remembers migration routes. She remembers seasonal water holes. She remembers areas that may contain danger. This remarkable memory has helped elephants survive changing environments for generations. But memory alone does not explain their success. Elephants communicate in ways humans cannot easily detect. They produce powerful low-frequency sounds called infrasound. Some of these sounds can travel several kilometers. This allows distant elephants to stay connected even when they cannot see each other. However, communication does not end with sound. Elephants can also detect vibrations through the ground. Sensitive receptors in their feet help them pick up distant signals. In some cases, they may sense approaching herds long before visual contact. This hidden communication network gives elephants a major advantage. It helps families coordinate movement. It helps them avoid threats. It helps them maintain social bonds across vast landscapes. But perhaps the most fascinating thing about elephants is their emotional intelligence. Researchers have documented behaviors that suggest empathy. Elephants have been seen helping injured individuals. They often show concern for distressed family members. Young elephants receive protection from multiple adults within the herd. These strong social connections begin at a very early age. A newborn calf enters a world where family support is essential, and for the next several years, that calf will learn skills that could determine its survival. The journey of an elephant's life is only beginning, and what happens during those first years may be even more extraordinary than scientists once believed. The first moments of an elephant calf's life are filled with challenges. A newborn can weigh more than 100 kilograms, yet within a short time, it must learn to stand. This is not easy. Its legs are unsteady. Its movements are awkward. But remaining on the ground for too long can be dangerous. Family members quickly gather around the calf. They form a protective circle. This behavior helps shield the newborn from potential threats. Within hours, the calf begins exploring its surroundings. Its trunk is one of the first mysteries it must solve. At first, the trunk seems difficult to control. Young calves often swing it in unexpected directions. Sometimes they even step on it. However, practice slowly changes everything. Day after day, the calf learns new movements. Eventually, the trunk becomes an incredibly precise tool. Milk is the calf's primary food during its early months. It may drink several liters each day. This nutrition supports rapid growth. But growing larger also means learning important social rules. Scientists have discovered that young elephants spend much of their time observing older herd members. They watch how adults find food. They watch how they communicate. They watch how they respond to danger. Learning through observation is a major part of elephant life. Knowledge is passed from one generation to the next. This transfer of experience helps entire families survive. Play is also surprisingly important. Young elephants chase one another. They wrestle gently. They push and tumble through the grass. At first glance, this may seem like simple fun. However, these activities develop strength and coordination. They also help calves build social relationships. As the calf grows, its curiosity becomes more obvious. Elephants investigate unfamiliar objects with their trunks. They explore smells. They examine sounds. They constantly gather information about their environment. This curiosity is linked to their advanced intelligence. Researchers have observed elephants solving problems in creative ways. Some have used objects as tools. Others have demonstrated impressive memory during experiments. But intelligence alone does not guarantee safety. The African savanna can be a challenging place. Temperatures often rise dramatically during the day. Water can become scarce. Food availability changes with the seasons. To survive, elephants must travel. Some herds move across hundreds of kilometers each year. These journeys follow ancient routes that have been used for generations. The matriarch plays a critical role during these migrations. Her experience guides the group. She remembers locations that younger elephants have never seen. This knowledge becomes especially valuable during droughts. Scientists have recorded cases where older matriarchs led their families directly to distant water sources. Many younger elephants had no memory of these places, yet the matriarch remembered them from years earlier. This extraordinary ability can mean the difference between survival and starvation. However, life on the move creates new challenges. Large predators occasionally target young calves. While adult elephants have few natural enemies, calves are more vulnerable. This is why family unity is so important. When danger appears, the herd reacts quickly. Adults gather around the youngest members. Calves are moved toward the center. The larger elephants face outward. The size of an adult elephant alone can be intimidating. An African elephant may stand over 3 meters tall at the shoulder. Its strength is immense. Few predators are willing to challenge a healthy adult. Yet physical power is only one reason elephants dominate their environment. Their impact extends far beyond their own survival. As elephants travel, they shape entire ecosystems. They break branches. They push over trees. They create pathways through dense vegetation. What seems destructive at first often benefits other animals. Open spaces allow new plants to grow. Many species depend on these changes. Scientists sometimes describe elephants as ecosystem engineers. Their daily activities influence countless other forms of life. And nowhere is this influence more important than during the search for one of nature's most valuable resources, water. As dry seasons grow harsher and rivers begin to shrink, elephants reveal survival strategies that continue to amaze researchers around the world. Water is the lifeline of the elephant world. Without it, survival becomes increasingly difficult. An adult elephant can drink more than 100 liters of water in a single day. During hot conditions, the demand can be even greater. Finding reliable water sources is a constant challenge. However, elephants have developed remarkable ways to solve this problem. In some regions, herds travel long distances between waterholes. These journeys may take days. Every step is guided by experience, memory, and environmental clues. Scientists have observed elephants arriving at water sources with surprising accuracy. Many of these locations are hidden from view, yet somehow the herd knows exactly where to go. Their powerful sense of smell plays a major role. Elephants can detect moisture carried by the wind. They can also recognize environmental signals that suggest nearby water. But what makes this even more interesting is their ability to dig. When surface water disappears, elephants sometimes use their feet and trunks to dig into dry riverbeds. As they remove sand and soil, hidden groundwater may begin to appear. These freshly dug wells often become valuable resources. Many other animals visit them afterward. Antelope, birds, and smaller mammals may all benefit from the elephant's work. This is one reason elephants are considered ecosystem engineers. Their actions can support entire communities of wildlife. Water is not only used for drinking, it also plays an important role in temperature control. Elephants frequently spray water over their bodies. They cover themselves with mud. They throw dust across their skin. At first, this behavior may seem unusual. However, it serves several important functions. Mud helps cool the body. It protects sensitive skin from intense sunlight. It may also reduce irritation from biting insects. A layer of dust can provide additional protection. In many ways, elephants have developed their own natural sunscreen. These adaptations are especially important because elephant skin is more complex than it appears. Although it can be several centimeters thick in some areas, elephant skin remains surprisingly sensitive. They can feel small insects landing on their bodies. This sensitivity helps them respond quickly to irritation. Scientists have discovered that wrinkles in elephant skin provide another advantage. These folds help trap moisture and mud. As a result, cooling effects can last longer. Every feature of the elephant's body serves a purpose. Its massive legs support tremendous weight. Specialized cushioning inside the feet helps absorb impact. This design allows elephants to move quietly despite their size. In fact, an approaching elephant is often much quieter than people expect. Researchers have found that elephants can walk great distances with impressive efficiency. Some populations travel thousands of kilometers over the course of a year. These movements are closely connected to food. An elephant spends much of its day eating. A large adult may consume more than 100 kilograms of vegetation daily. Grass, leaves, bark, roots, and fruit can all become part of the menu. Meeting these nutritional needs requires constant foraging. This feeding behavior has a powerful effect on the landscape. Trees may be pushed over, branches may be broken, seeds may be carried far from their original source. However, these changes often help maintain ecological balance. Many plant species rely on elephants for seed dispersal. Fruits eaten in one area may be deposited many kilometers away. This process helps forests regenerate and expand. Scientists have identified numerous plants that benefit directly from elephant movements. In some ecosystems, removing elephants would dramatically alter the environment. The effects would spread across countless species. But despite their importance, elephants face challenges that no amount of strength can easily overcome. Climate conditions are changing. Rainfall patterns are shifting. Traditional migration routes are becoming more difficult to follow. For young elephants growing up in these conditions, survival depends more than ever on the knowledge of the herd. And among all the lessons they must learn, one stands above the rest: the ability to communicate, cooperate, and remain connected to their family, no matter how far they travel. For elephants, family is more than a social group. It is the foundation of survival. Every member of the herd plays a role. Young calves depend on adults for protection. Adults depend on the experience of the matriarch. Together, they form one of the strongest family structures in the animal kingdom. Communication keeps this structure intact. Elephants use a wide range of sounds. They trumpet when excited. They rumble when communicating over long distances. They produce softer calls during close interactions. Scientists have identified dozens of different vocal signals. Each serves a specific purpose. Some calls coordinate movement. Others warn of danger. Some simply maintain contact between family members. However, sound is only part of the conversation. Elephants communicate through touch. A gentle trunk placed across another elephant's back can provide reassurance. A touch on the face may strengthen social bonds. Even brief physical contact can carry important information. Researchers have frequently observed elephants comforting distressed herd members. This behavior suggests a level of emotional awareness rarely seen in the animal world. But this emotional intelligence becomes even more apparent during difficult moments. When a calf becomes separated, nearby adults often respond immediately. They search for the missing youngster. They call repeatedly. They guide it back to safety. In many cases, the entire herd becomes involved. Scientists have also documented unusual reactions to death. Elephants sometimes remain near the bones of deceased family members. They may gently touch skulls or tusks with their trunks. While researchers continue to study these behaviors, they suggest a complex emotional life. Few animals display such consistent interest in the remains of their own species. This emotional depth may be connected to their advanced brains. The elephant brain is the largest of any land animal. It contains billions of neurons. Many regions associated with memory and social behavior are highly developed. Scientists believe this contributes to their impressive learning abilities. Young elephants spend years acquiring knowledge. Unlike many animals, they do not become independent quickly. Their long childhood allows them to absorb enormous amounts of information. They learn where to find food. They learn migration routes. They learn social rules. They learn how to respond to changing environmental conditions. This extended learning period has helped elephants thrive across diverse habitats. African elephants occupy grasslands, woodlands, and savannas. Asian elephants live in forests, grasslands, and tropical regions. Although the two species share many similarities, important differences exist. African elephants are generally larger. Their ears are significantly bigger. Both males and females may develop tusks. Asian elephants tend to have smaller ears. Female tusks are often much smaller or absent altogether. Scientists also recognize differences in behavior, habitat use, and social structure. Yet both species share remarkable intelligence. One famous study demonstrated that elephants can recognize themselves in mirrors. This ability is considered a sign of self-awareness. Only a small number of animal species have passed similar tests. Researchers have also observed elephants solving unfamiliar problems. Some have moved objects to reach food. Others have worked together to complete tasks. Cooperation appears naturally within elephant society. When crossing difficult terrain, Herd members often assist one another. Adults may help calves climb steep riverbanks. They may slow their pace to match weaker individuals. These actions strengthen the group's chances of survival. However, living in a close-knit society can also create challenges. As young males mature, their lives begin to change dramatically. The family-centered world they have always known starts to shift. New behaviors emerge, new instincts develop, and eventually, many young bulls must begin a very different journey, one that will test their strength, intelligence, and independence in ways they have never experienced before. As a young male elephant grows older, his role within the herd begins to change. For years, he has lived under the protection of his family. He has learned from the matriarch. He has followed the movements of the group. But eventually, a new stage of life begins. Young bulls gradually spend more time away from the family herd. Some leave permanently, others move between different groups of males. This transition is a major turning point. Unlike family herds led by females, male elephant groups are often less structured. Bulls may travel alone. They may form temporary associations. These relationships can change over time. However, older males still play an important role. Scientists have discovered that younger bulls often learn from experienced adults. Large mature males can influence behavior. They can reduce aggression among younger elephants. Their presence contributes to social stability. This mentorship is more important than researchers once believed. For many years, scientists focused primarily on female-led herds. Today, studies reveal that males' social lives are far more complex than previously understood. As bulls mature, they experience a biological condition known as musth. During musth, hormone levels rise dramatically. Behavior often changes. Males become more competitive. They may travel greater distances in search of breeding opportunities. This period can last for weeks or even months. Large, experienced bulls usually have the greatest reproductive success. Their size, strength, and maturity provide important advantages. Yet physical power is not the only factor. Intelligence, experience, and timing also matter. A bull that understands the landscape can locate resources more efficiently. He can avoid unnecessary risks. He can navigate vast territories with remarkable confidence. These journeys sometimes cover extraordinary distances. Satellite tracking has revealed that certain elephants travel hundreds of kilometers across challenging terrain. They cross rivers. They move through forests. They navigate open grasslands. Throughout these travels, memory remains one of their greatest tools. Researchers continue to be amazed by the elephant's ability to recall locations after many years. Some individuals have returned to specific water sources after long absences. Others have followed migration routes that span generations. This knowledge becomes especially valuable during environmental stress. Droughts can transform entire landscapes. Vegetation disappears. Water sources shrink. Competition increases. Under these conditions, experience can mean survival. Older elephants often know routes that younger individuals have never encountered. These pathways may lead to hidden resources. Without such knowledge, survival becomes much more difficult. However, nature is not the only challenge elephants face. Across many regions, expanding human populations are changing the landscape. Roads cut through migration routes. Farms replace natural habitats. Settlements expand into areas once used by wildlife. As a result, encounters between humans and elephants have become more common. Most elephants try to avoid conflict. They prefer to move away from danger. But when traditional routes disappear, avoiding people becomes increasingly difficult. Scientists are working to better understand these interactions. Conservation groups use tracking technology to monitor elephant movements. This information helps identify important migration corridors. Protecting these routes can reduce conflict and support healthy populations. However, what makes this even more fascinating is the scale of elephant movement itself. Few land animals influence such vast areas. An elephant may transport seeds across long distances. It may create pathways through dense vegetation. It may open access to resources used by many other species. Its presence affects the landscape every single day. In many ecosystems, elephants function as architects of the natural world. And nowhere is this influence more visible than in the forests and grasslands they help shape, where countless plants and animals depend on changes created by the steady movement of these giants. As elephants move across the landscape, they leave behind more than footprints. They reshape entire ecosystems. A single elephant can consume hundreds of plant species throughout its lifetime. While feeding, it breaks branches. It strips bark. It pushes through dense vegetation. At first, these actions may appear destructive. However, they often create new opportunities for other forms of life. When elephants open gaps in forests, sunlight reaches the ground. New plants begin to grow. Small animals gain access to fresh food sources. Birds find new nesting areas. The impact spreads far beyond the elephant itself. Scientists have found that many forests depend on large animals for seed dispersal. Elephants are among the most effective seed carriers on Earth. Some seeds pass through the digestive system unharmed. They are deposited far from the parent plant. This process reduces competition and increases the chances of successful growth. Certain tree species may struggle to spread without elephants. In this way, elephants help shape the future of entire forests. Their influence extends to water as well. When elephants create trails, other animals often follow them. These pathways can lead directly to food and water sources. Over time, routes used by elephants may become important wildlife corridors. Many species benefit from these natural networks. Researchers have documented antelope, buffalo, zebras, and numerous smaller animals using paths originally created by elephants. This demonstrates an important ecological principle. The actions of one species can affect countless others. Because of their enormous influence, elephants are often called a keystone species. A keystone species plays a critical role in maintaining ecosystem balance. When such a species declines, the effects can spread throughout the environment. This is one reason conservationists pay close attention to elephant populations. Healthy elephant populations often indicate healthy ecosystems. However, protecting elephants is not always simple. Their large size creates unique challenges. Elephants require vast amounts of space. They need reliable water. They need access to diverse food sources. As natural habitats become fragmented, meeting these needs becomes increasingly difficult. Scientists use advanced tracking collars to better understand elephant movements. Satellite technology provides detailed information about migration routes. Researchers can monitor travel patterns in near real time. This information helps identify critical habitats. It also reveals just how far elephants can travel. Some individuals cover thousands of kilometers over several years. Their movements connect distant ecosystems. Their journeys influence landscapes on a remarkable scale. But perhaps the most surprising discoveries involve elephant intelligence. Recent studies suggest that elephants may recognize individual voices. They can distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar callers. In some cases, they can identify specific members of their social group. This ability strengthens family bonds. It also improves decision-making during potentially dangerous situations. Scientists have observed elephants adjusting their behavior based on social information. They assess risks. They respond to changing conditions. They make complex choices. Such behaviors demonstrate a high level of cognitive flexibility. However, there is still much researchers do not fully understand. The elephant brain remains an active area of scientific study. Questions continue to emerge. How do elephants store long-term memories? How do they process social relationships? How do they navigate across such enormous distances? Each new discovery reveals another layer of complexity. And yet, despite their intelligence and ecological importance, elephants remain vulnerable. Environmental pressures continue to grow. Climate conditions continue to shift. For future generations of elephants, adaptation will be more important than ever. The next chapter of their story is not only about survival, it is about resilience, conservation, and the global effort to protect one of the most extraordinary animals ever to walk the earth. Today, elephants face some of the greatest challenges in their long evolutionary history. For millions of years, they adapted to changing climates. They survived natural disasters. They endured dramatic environmental shifts. But the pace of change in the modern world is unlike anything they have faced before. Across many regions, habitats continue to shrink. Forests are cleared. Grasslands are transformed. Migration routes become fragmented. For an animal that depends on movement, these changes can have serious consequences. Elephants cannot simply remain in one place. Their survival depends on access to food, water, and seasonal resources. When traditional pathways disappear, entire herds may struggle to adapt. Scientists have observed changes in migration behavior in several elephant populations. Some herds now travel longer distances. Others alter routes that have been used for generations. These adjustments demonstrate the remarkable flexibility of elephant behavior. However, adaptation has limits. Extreme droughts can place enormous pressure on elephant populations. Water sources become scarce. Vegetation declines. Competition for resources increases. Under these conditions, experience becomes more valuable than ever. Older matriarchs often guide their families through difficult periods. Their memories contain decades of environmental knowledge. Researchers have found that herds led by experienced matriarchs frequently respond more effectively to environmental challenges. This highlights the importance of preserving stable social structures. Every generation depends on the knowledge of the one before it. Yet despite these difficulties, elephants continue to demonstrate extraordinary resilience. Calves are still born, families still migrate, ancient behaviors continue across modern landscapes. Conservation efforts are helping support this resilience. Protected areas provide important refuges, wildlife corridors reconnect fragmented habitats, scientific research improves management strategies. Technology is also playing a growing role. Satellite tracking helps researchers understand movement patterns. Camera systems monitor remote regions. Data collected from the field supports better conservation decisions. These tools provide valuable insights into elephant ecology. However, conservation is not only about technology, it is also about understanding the role elephants play in the natural world. When elephants thrive, ecosystems often benefit. Forests regenerate, seeds disperse across vast distances, wildlife pathways remain open. Their influence touches countless species. In many ways, elephants help maintain the health of entire landscapes. Scientists continue to uncover new details about their behavior. Each discovery reinforces the same conclusion. Elephants are far more than large herbivores. They are intelligent problem solvers. They are ecosystem engineers. They are social animals with complex relationships. They possess impressive memories. They communicate across great distances. They pass knowledge from one generation to the next. Yet perhaps their most remarkable quality is their ability to endure. Generation after generation, elephants have adapted to changing worlds. They have crossed deserts. They have navigated forests. They have survived environmental challenges that reshaped entire continents. Their story is still being written. And as researchers continue to study these giants, one final question remains. What lessons can the largest land animal on Earth teach us about intelligence, cooperation, survival, and the delicate balance of nature itself? The answer may be even more remarkable than anyone imagined. The story of the elephant is ultimately a story of connection. Connection to family, connection to memory, connection to landscapes that have shaped generations. For millions of years, elephants have walked across forests, savannas, wetlands, and grasslands. They have witnessed environmental changes that few species could endure. Their ancestors shared the planet with creatures that disappeared long ago, yet elephants remained. They adapted. They learned. They survived. One reason for this success is their extraordinary intelligence. They remember important locations. They recognize individuals. They solve problems. They communicate through sound, touch, scent, and even ground vibrations. Scientists continue to discover new aspects of their cognitive abilities. With each study, the elephant becomes even more fascinating. However, intelligence alone does not define this animal. Its social bonds are equally remarkable. A calf grows up surrounded by support. Older elephants share knowledge accumulated over decades. Families work together during migration. They protect one another during danger. They cooperate in ways that strengthen the entire herd. This collective approach has helped elephants survive some of nature's toughest challenges. Their influence extends beyond their own species. As elephants travel, they shape ecosystems. They disperse seeds. They create pathways. They open forests. They uncover water sources. Their daily activities help sustain countless plants and animals. Few species have such a widespread impact on the natural world. This is why elephants are often considered one of the most important animals on Earth. Remove elephants from an ecosystem, and the effects can ripple across the landscape. Protect elephants, and entire ecosystems often benefit. Scientists continue to study their movements, communication, and behavior. Many mysteries remain. How much information can an elephant truly remember? How detailed are their social relationships? What other forms of communication have yet to be discovered? Research may answer some of these questions in the future, but one fact is already clear. Elephants are among the most intelligent, influential, and extraordinary animals ever known. Their survival is closely linked to the health of the ecosystems they inhabit. Their future depends on the preservation of the landscapes they need, and their story reminds us that every species, no matter how large or small, plays a role in the balance of nature. From the first uncertain steps of a newborn calf to the wisdom of an aging matriarch, the elephant represents resilience, intelligence, and the power of family. It is a living symbol of the natural world's complexity and beauty. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure to like and subscribe for more wildlife stories.